In the quiet corners of Cebu City, where narrow streets twist between rusted roofs and cracked concrete, a small boy named Mateo lived a life most people never notice. Every morning he woke before the sun, not because he wanted to, but because hunger does not wait. His home was a single room shared with his mother and younger sister, the walls thin enough to hear every neighbor's struggle. Mateo owned very little: a pair of worn slippers, a faded shirt, and a voice that felt far too big for his small, fragile body. When he sang, it was not for money or attention. It was because singing made the emptiness inside him feel lighter. His voice drifted through alleys and markets, soft at first, then rising strong, as if the city itself was breathing through him. People passing by would slow their steps without knowing why, their eyes drawn toward the sound of something pure and honest. Mateo never noticed them. He only sang to the sky, imagining a place where his voice could fly free. One afternoon, as rain clouds gathered over Cebu City, a man named Rafael stopped suddenly in his tracks. Rafael was a vocal coach, once full of dreams, now weighed down by years of failure and regret. He had traveled far from home, chasing opportunities that never came, and now found himself teaching small lessons just to survive. As the first drops of rain fell, he heard Mateo singing an old melody filled with emotion far beyond his years. Rafael felt his chest tighten, his eyes burning with tears. He did not expect. There was something haunting in that voice, something legendary, something that reminded him of why he once believed in music. He followed the sound until he saw the boy standing barefoot on wet concrete, eyes closed, singing as if the world was listening. Rafael did not interrupt. He waited until the final note faded into the rain. When he finally spoke, his voice trembled as much as Mateo's hands. He told the boy his voice was rare, that it carried pain and hope together, and asked if he could help him learn to control it. Mateo did not understand big words like destiny or future, but he saw kindness in Rafael's eyes and nodded. From that day, their lives became connected. Training did not happen in fancy studios, but in abandoned rooms under flickering lights, using broken mirrors and cracked floors. Rafael taught Mateo breathing, posture, and confidence, while Mateo taught Rafael how to believe again. They practiced until their throats were sore and their stomachs empty, but neither complained. Music became their escape, their shared dream. Rafael spoke of stages, lights, and audiences far beyond Cebu City, while Mateo listened wide-eyed, imagining something bigger than hunger. One night, Rafael mentioned Ireland's Got Talent 2025, and Mateo laughed softly, unable to imagine himself on a stage so far away. But Rafael did not laugh. He looked serious, telling Mateo that great voices do not belong to one place, they belong to the world. Months passed, filled with sacrifice and doubt. There were days Mateo wanted to quit when his sister cried from hunger or his mother fell ill. There were nights Rafael questioned whether he was chasing another impossible dream. But every time Mateo sang, those doubts faded. When the chance finally came through a small sponsor who believed in their story, it felt unreal. Plane tickets, passports, borrowed clothes. Everything felt like a miracle stitched together by hope. Mateo had never left Cebu City before, never seen clouds beneath his feet. As the plane took off, he pressed his face to the window, heart racing, fear and excitement tangled together. Ireland felt cold, loud, and overwhelming. The Ireland's Got Talent 2025 stage was larger than anything Mateo had ever seen, the lights blinding, the audience endless. Backstage, Mateo's hands shook as he clutched the microphone, his borrowed jacket hanging loose on his small frame. Rafael knelt in front of him, reminding him to breathe, reminding him that the stage was no different from the alley where he first sang. The judges sat waiting, unaware of the storm about to hit them. The music began, soft and simple, and Mateo closed his eyes. When he opened his mouth, the room changed. His voice rose, carrying the sound of poverty, struggle, and unbreakable hope. It was gentle and fierce, innocent and powerful, all at once. As Mateo sang, the judges leaned forward, expressions shifting from curiosity to disbelief. One judge felt tears spill before realizing it. Another covered their mouth, hands trembling. The audience grew silent, not even breathing, afraid to break the spell. Matteo moved naturally across the stage, fearless, as if guided by something timeless. His voice soared high, filling every corner of the theater, and in that moment it felt as if Freddie Mercury himself had returned, reborn in a poor boy from Cebu City. Backstage, Raphael collapsed against the wall, crying openly, his dreams finally reflected on that stage. The final note rang out, and silence followed, heavy and sacred. Then the room exploded. The audience rose,